Hi, I'm Josh Rawlings. I'm the keyboardist for Industrial Revelation.
He must have done his standing on the chair thing on his head. He had to. That's his trademark.
Hi, I'm Floyd Barnes. I'm the bass player for Industrial Revelation.
All of Evan's songs are pretty much about his ex-girlfriends or current girlfriend, or, it's always a relationship tune. Hello, I'm Devon Lewis, and I play drums for Industrial Revelation.
The first second that I heard him play, I knew that there was something absolutely magical about the way that he approached the instrument, not just as a drummer, but as a musician.
Like your ahum?
Hi, I'm Ahame Oluo. I'm the trumpet player for Industrial Revelation.
I feel so much of Industrial Revelation is almost like Aham's dream that we're just in.
Tonight on Band in Seattle, garage jazz quartet Industrial Revelation songs prove that you don't need lyrics to get people thinking. Welcome to Band in Seattle.
It's so hard to remember, like 12 years back, exactly how it happened, but essentially it started with Devon organizing a rehearsal with everybody and having an idea for the band. Him and Aham were definitely talking about forming this kind of new music group. At the time, Robert Glasper was really cutting edge, maybe Charlie Hunter, other kind of artists pushing the envelope, and that's something that felt near and dear to them.
I met Devon when I was 20. So that means he was 16. We were playing this jam session at the Centrum Jazz Festival. And Devon gets up, and instantly there was this connection. And my girlfriend at the time, she was like, "You gotta play with that kid again. You gotta find a way to play with that kid."
Right away, we just hooked up. You get this feeling, you don't even, you never really met the person, but it's just like, oh, that feels good, yeah, it's like, wow. We're smiling at each other, like, yeah,
Later, we played just a random gig at some Italian restaurant, and then I got a call from him about, hey, I want to do this session. I'm thinking about having this concept of a band. The moment we started playing, there was just this energy, and in essence, it was everything that I loved about all kinds of music, but the best sensibilities of thinking about what jazz music is. And I think the best part about it just came out, the joy, the swing, the passion, the devotion, that was all there. Because I felt like I was getting burned out by that music, just because sometimes there's so many mental things that come with it that have nothing to do with the music. They just have to do with people's insecurities and stuff. And so it's kind of like what I felt in that moment we played together was like a letting go of that.
I started playing with Devon when I was about 17 or 18 maybe. I had a couple of bands that Devon played in, but I really think that we were looking for something to really explore that type of personal relationship, because that type of personal relationship also exists between every member of the group. Everyone in the band knew each other for a long period of time before we got together. You know, from the very beginning, it was just about, not even necessarily about the instrumentation, not about the style of music, not about anything except for the ability to explore those musical relationships.
All brought tunes to the table, and some of them were like tunes that we had tried in different groups, but there was something magical from the very first moment we all played, and we could tell just pretty much no matter what sort of music we threw in front of each other, the way that we interpreted it collectively and played the interplay, it was powerful. And that energy has just exponentially grown, evolved through the years, and it's just, yeah, amazing. But yeah, it started with just a rehearsal in one of the practice rooms at Cornish College of the Arts 12 years ago. I don't think there's anybody who can just handle an upright bass more than Evan can, so I appreciate the heck out of that guy.
After the break, find out more about Industrial Revelation.
Find that like I have each guy is a unique and very strong reflection of myself. Like Devon is like the down home, but also inviting, open, spiritual. Ahum is like the internal, like big vision, artistic, visionary. And then there's Josh. Josh is like harmonic sensibility in the chords and the way that he rolls them and the way that they feel. They very much sing to this feeling that I have naturally in me, and that's one of my favorite things about his playing.
I used to kind of make fun of Keith Jarrett. He's a really incredible piano player because he would stand up and like almost look like he was making love to the piano or something. But I grew to kind of appreciate them because I felt like the music when he was moving, and I remembered back to my acting days in high school that so much of being on stage is putting on a performance and showing that you're having fun.
I I come from a background of stand-up comedy. One thing that's beautiful about stand-up comedy is that there's a very specific mandate required of you, in that you elicit this involuntary reaction from the crowd, which is laughter. And if you don't elicit that response, not only, you didn't even do bad stand-up comedy, you didn't do stand-up comedy at all, you just talk to people. I started feeling responses from the audience that felt the same, that felt like that there's something actually shifting in them, much like you can feel a laugh shifting inside of a person. You know, I think a lot of people in kind of the more cerebral end of the art world can say that, you know, will say that that is not their primary goal. It is a primary goal of mine, to engage people in a very visceral and immediate way.
I don't think there's anybody who can just handle an upright bass more than Evan can, and play just the nuance from, you know, arco to pizzicato and just all over the place. So I appreciate the heck out of that guy.
It's weird. There's sometimes where it's like, if we played a certain tune before, sometimes we do have a solo order, but sometimes it's like, there'll be this space and then someone just decides to emerge out of it. I think the best is when it happens really organically. Somebody just steps in, and then we're also naturally attuned to each other, that then we make the space. But at the same time, it's also very interactive. It's not just like this person soloing on top of it's very much like a responding, and it's very much both individual improvisation, but also collective improvisation.
And that's the beauty of being together for a while too. We kind of feel those moments, like, okay, I feel he's doing something. I feel he wants to keep going. It might be on a job of me to, I'm gonna do a big feel, and they'll feel that I'm gonna end on the one.
Collapsible keyboard bench, I've worried that, you know, like I'm standing up on it. I've never really tested, you know, jumping up and down, and I'm just asking for an injury.
When we return, uncover more about Industrial Revelation.
But in that, to me, is my homage to grunge music that I grew up loving.
It hit our hearts, you know, because it was home. It was about that grunge era. I didn't really necessarily big on the grunge scene, but it's still home. It's part of me.
The period of time when we, as a band, kind of transitioned from always playing very small venues to kind of moving into like larger rock clubs, and I can't speak for Josh, but I think that part of that song is about embracing that in a song that it's built for a large crowd of people and to enjoy all at once.
I think Rawlings was writing both for that homage to the grunge era, but also sort of the interpersonal world, and then having a great vehicle for us to really just rock out and get heavy. The first time I heard this playing, there's like this urgency in it. And I always talk about this. There's this scene in a favorite movie of mine where the guy's being chased by some gangsters that he owes money. He's like running from the guys. He's also running to a gig. And he gets on stage, and then he belts out this tune, and it's kind of like that's how Ah-Hum plays. It's like there's just this urgency and passion and intensity.
That type of stuff, the intellectual stuff. Anyone can kind of get to the point where they figure that out, but that breath is the real life of the instrument, and you don't waste notes because those notes come at a cost. And that's, I think, probably why a lot of trumpet players really value the rhythm sections that they play with. The best trumpet playing happens when you don't have to play all the time, and when there's enough beauty going on around you that you can let things be what they are for a moment. And that's a luxury that instrument has also, because, you know, as a drummer, it's very hard to just stop and let things breathe. You know, as a bass player, you have this foundational role. And, you know, while the trumpet does have these kind of costs to it, one of the beautiful things is that it's better if you don't play all the time. It's better if you take a step back, and it's better if you use that power only when it's necessary.
Shadowboxing in the Wind. I came up with the title as we were recording. I said, hey guys, I got this idea of a tune. I don't know what it's called, but it goes like this. And we finished recording it, I think. We had a little break, and I went outside, and I just started, you know, just kind of loosening up, you know, because we were like recording for a few hours.
It was windy outside, and I think I remember seeing him like, he was shadowboxing in the wind. He was actually doing it.
I remember Devon having this kind of less of a specific musical vision, more of like a conceptual vision of what he was feeling and the energy that he had and kind of the intensity that he put into that particular beat, and then everyone kind of building around that.
You know, sometimes you got to go outside and just shadow box, you know, pretend all that pent-up stuff is right there, and you're just gonna knock it out.
First started playing, you know, we came out of, you know, the jazz background of, like, you know, you have a sheet of music, has a melody, chord changes. But then we began to trust that we had this unique vibe as a band together, and then we started to write things for the band, even write things without even writing any music down. We just show some stuff. So it kind of went from like reading tunes on gigs to then getting rid of the tunes, and then just kind of coming up with stuff organically, and then having just things, being open to things just coming out of thin air. Like, I think there's been so many moments, and I know we got into them in our performance, where it just, things happen.
It is almost like its own drug. I want to get to those places where I think the best way to really describe it is when you feel truly supported by your bandmates, and you would also support them in any direction that they decide to go, you feel like completely embraced and completely in trust. And when that gets amplified and you're just going deeper and deeper into the music, it's like the goosebumps.
For more information about our bands, go to bandinseattle.com, where you can watch Industrial Revelation's full concert.